You're looking at a piece of junk sitting in your garage right now, and you have no idea it could save your life during a power outage, keep your air conditioner running smoother, or even build you a small stream of extra income this year. That piece of junk is your old refrigerator compressor. Most people rip it out, toss it in the trash, and forget about it. Big mistake. Because that little black metal cylinder sitting inside your dead fridge is one of the most powerful, most underrated tools you will ever own, and almost nobody talks about it. Today, we are going to change that. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because by the end of this video, you are going to look at every broken appliance in your house completely differently. And if you want more videos like this, ones that turn everyday junk into everyday power, hit that subscribe button right now before you forget. Because this channel is built for people who like getting more out of less. Now let's talk about what a refrigerator compressor actually is, because most people have no idea what is really going on inside that metal box. A compressor is not just some random motor. It is a small, sealed, extremely tough air pump. Its entire job for years, sometimes decades, was to squeeze refrigerant gas over and over again, thousands of times a day, without stopping, without failing, without complaining. Think about that for a second. That little unit ran nonstop, day and night, keeping your food cold, and it barely got any attention. It just worked. Quietly, reliably. And when the fridge finally died, usually because of a broken seal, a bad thermostat, or a worn-out door gasket, the compressor itself was often still completely fine. Still strong, still capable of doing serious work. It just got thrown away with everything else, like a marathon runner getting fired because the shoes wore out. Here's the part that surprises most people. That compressor, the one sitting in a landfill somewhere right now, can be turned into a functioning air compressor. Not a toy, not a gimmick. A real, usable air compressor that can inflate tires, power air tools, blow dust out of tight spaces, and run small pneumatic devices. People have been doing this for years in workshops, garages, and small farms, quietly building tools that would normally cost them $100 or more, using something that was headed straight for the trash. And the wild part is, most of them are not master electricians or engineers. They are regular people who just refuse to believe that a working motor should be thrown away just because the box around it broke. So how does something built to move refrigerant end up moving air? That is where the curiosity really kicks in. Inside that compressor are two copper tubes sticking out. One is the intake side, where gas gets pulled in. The other is the outlet side, where pressurized gas gets pushed out. And when you strip away the refrigeration system around it, when you cut off the old tubing, clean the ports, and hook up new lines, that same pumping action can be redirected to pull in ordinary air and push it out under pressure. The compressor does not know the difference between refrigerant gas and regular air. It just squeezes whatever is inside it. And that is the secret that turns a piece of appliance junk into a genuinely useful tool. Now, before you imagine yourself running a full auto shop off a fridge compressor, let's set realistic expectations, because that is part of what makes this project so satisfying. These compressors are usually low volume. They will not fill a truck tire in 5 seconds like a big shop compressor would. But they are steady, they are strong for their size, and they are perfect for small jobs. Topping off a bicycle tire, blowing dust out of a keyboard, running an airbrush for small painting projects, powering a small nail gun for light trim work, inflating a pool float without your face turning red from blowing into it for 10 minutes. These are the jobs most people actually need done around the house, and a homemade compressor handles them without breaking a sweat. What makes this project even more interesting is the story behind why almost nobody does it, even though it is not some secret trick. It is because we have been trained for decades to think of broken things as worthless things. The moment an appliance stops working, our brain files it under garbage. We do not think about what is still functional inside it. We do not think about the motor, the compressor, the copper, the wiring, all the pieces that took real engineering and real materials to build. We just see a big, useless box taking up space, and we want it gone. That mindset is exactly why so many useful parts end up buried in landfills instead of powering someone's garage tools. But a small number of people, the tinkerers, the fixers, the ones who grew up watching their fathers or grandfathers repair things instead of replacing them, they see it differently. They see potential sitting right there in plain sight. And once you start seeing appliances that way, you cannot unsee it. You start looking at old washing machines and thinking about the motor inside. You start looking at broken microwaves and thinking about the transformer. And you start looking at dead refrigerators and immediately thinking about that solid, reliable compressor just waiting to be reborn as something new. That shift in thinking is really what this video is about. Not just the mechanics of building an air compressor from a fridge, but the mindset behind it. The idea that value does not disappear just because something stops working the way it originally did. Value moves, it transforms. It waits for someone curious enough to notice it. And in the next part of this video, we are going to slow down and walk through exactly what you need, how the process actually works, what mistakes people commonly make, and how you can safely bring this compressor back to life in your own garage, step by step, without needing to be an expert. Stay with me, because this is where it gets genuinely exciting. Let's pick up right where we left off, because now it is time to get into the real details, the part where this stops being just an interesting idea and starts becoming something you could actually build this weekend. Before you touch a single tool, you need to understand the anatomy of what you are working with, because that knowledge is what separates someone who builds this safely from someone who ends up frustrated with a pile of parts that do not work. A refrigerator compressor, the kind sitting inside almost every fridge ever made, is what is called a hermetically sealed compressor. That means the motor and the pump are sealed together inside one solid metal shell, welded shut, protected from dust, moisture, and damage. That is actually great news for you, because it means the internal parts are usually clean and well protected, even if the fridge itself is old and rusty on the outside. On top of that sealed shell, you will notice 3 copper tubes sticking out. This confuses a lot of beginners, because they assume there are only 2, one in and one out, but there are actually 3, and knowing which is which matters. 2 of those tubes are the working tubes, the intake and the outlet, the ones that actually move gas in and out during operation. The third tube is called a process tube, and it was used at the factory to charge the system with refrigerant when it was originally built. For your air compressor project, that third tube usually gets capped off or ignored, since you are not dealing with refrigerant anymore. You are dealing with ordinary air. Figuring out which tube is which is usually done through a simple pattern. And there are visual guides and diagrams widely available that show the standard layout. So this is not some mysterious guessing game. It is a well-understood process that people have documented for years. Once you know your tubes, the next big step is removing the compressor safely from the old refrigeration system. This is the point where a lot of people get nervous, and honestly, that nervousness is healthy, because there is one thing you must respect here, and that is leftover refrigerant. Older refrigerators, especially ones from years past, may still have refrigerant gas trapped inside the system. And that gas should never just be cracked open and released into the air carelessly. It is not something to be careless about, and it is not something to rush. The responsible approach is to have that refrigerant properly recovered, or to work with a fridge that has already been safely evacuated, which many local appliance recyclers or repair shops can help with. This is not meant to scare you away from the project. It is meant to make sure you respect the process, the same way you would respect working with any pressurized system. Once the compressor is safely separated from the rest of the refrigeration system, you are left with just the pump itself, along with its 2 main copper working tubes. From here, the transformation really starts to take shape. The intake tube gets connected to a small air filter, something as simple as a tiny inline filter, which keeps dust and debris from being pulled directly into the pump. The outlet tube gets connected to your discharge line, which typically leads into a storage tank. Now here's something that surprises a lot of beginners. You do not necessarily need to buy a brand new pressure tank for this. Many people repurpose old propane tanks, fire extinguisher shells that have been properly cleaned and depressurized, or even small compressed air tanks from other broken tools. The idea is always the same. Take something built to hold pressure safely and give it a second life instead of buying something new. Of course, storing pressurized air safely requires a few essential additions, and skipping these is where inexperienced builders sometimes run into trouble. You need a pressure switch, which automatically shuts the compressor off once your tank reaches a safe pressure level and turns it back on once pressure drops below a certain point. You need a pressure relief valve, a simple safety mechanism that releases air automatically if pressure ever climbs too high, acting as your built-in safety net. And you need a pressure gauge, so you can actually see what is happening inside your tank at any given moment instead of guessing. These parts are inexpensive, widely available, and they are the same basic components used in commercial air compressors, just scaled down to match your smaller homemade build. Wiring the compressor is usually more straightforward than people expect, since most of these motors run on standard household electrical current, the same type of power already running through outlets in your garage. Many people wire in a simple on and off switch alongside the pressure switch, giving them full manual control anytime they want it. This is also the stage where patience really pays off. Rushing the wiring, guessing instead of checking or skipping basic safety steps, is where most home projects go wrong, not just this one. Taking your time here, double-checking your connections, and testing everything slowly and carefully is what turns this from a risky experiment into a genuinely reliable tool you will trust for years. Once everything is connected, filter on the intake, tank on the outlet, pressure switch, relief valve, and gauge all in place, wiring checked and secure, you get to the moment that makes this whole project worth it. You flip the switch, and that old compressor, the one that used to quietly keep your food cold for years, roars back to life doing a brand new job. You watch the pressure gauge slowly climb. You hear the motor working steadily, just like it always did, except now it is filling a tank with usable compressed air instead of chilling refrigerant gas. And when it hits your set pressure, it clicks off automatically, just like a real air compressor, because now it is one. What strikes most people the first time they test this is just how normal it feels. It does not feel like some rigged up science experiment. It feels solid. It feels dependable. Because it is using a motor that was engineered to run constantly for years without failing. You're not asking it to do something it was never built for. You are simply redirecting the exact same skill it already had, squeezing gas under pressure and applying it to a new purpose. That is the entire secret behind this whole project. Nothing exotic, nothing complicated, just smart redirection of something that already had strength built into it. And once you have this tool sitting in your garage, actually working, actually useful, something shifts in how you look at everything else around your house. You start walking past your neighbor's curbside junk pile a little slower. You start noticing old machines at yard sales instead of walking right by them. Because now you understand something most people never stop to consider, that broken does not always mean useless, and thrown away does not always mean finished. Sometimes it just means waiting. Waiting for someone curious enough to open it up and ask a simple question: what is this thing actually capable of if I just give it a second chance? In the final part of this video, we are going to tie all of this together, talk about the bigger picture of what this really represents, and I am going to ask you something important before we wrap up, so stay with me for just a little longer. Now let's bring this full circle, because there is something bigger happening here than just one compressor and one garage project. What we have really been talking about this whole video is a completely different way of looking at the things around you. Most people move through life surrounded by objects they assume are either working or worthless, on or off, useful or trash. But the truth this fridge compressor project reveals so clearly is that almost nothing is actually worthless. It just stops being useful for its original purpose. And there is a massive difference between those two ideas. A refrigerator dies, and 99% of people see a dead appliance. But now you see it differently. You see a strong, reliable motor that just finished one job and is fully ready to start another. That shift, right there, is worth more than the compressor itself. Think about how much money gets thrown away every single year simply because people do not take the time to look closer. Somewhere near you, right now, there's probably an old fridge sitting in a garage, a basement, or a shed, completely forgotten, waiting to be hauled off to a scrapyard for almost nothing. Inside that fridge is a compressor that, with a little time, a little patience, and a handful of inexpensive parts, could become a genuinely useful air compressor. One that could inflate your tires, one that could power small air tools, one that could save you a trip to the store, or save you from buying a brand new compressor you did not really need to buy. That is not a small thing. That is real, practical value, sitting right there, waiting for someone willing to see it. And here's what makes this even more interesting when you zoom out and think about it. This is not just about saving a little bit of money on one tool. It is about building a mindset. Once you successfully turn one broken appliance into something useful, you start looking at everything differently. That old washing machine motor, that broken power tool with a perfectly good battery, that busted printer with a strong little motor inside. You start seeing potential everywhere instead of seeing garbage everywhere. And that mindset, more than any single project, is what actually saves people real money over the years. Not one clever hack, but a whole new lens for looking at the world around you. There's also something deeply satisfying about using a tool you built yourself, something that goes beyond just saving money. When you use a store-bought compressor, it is just a tool. It does its job, and that is it. But when you use one, you rebuilt yourself from a part that was headed straight for the scrap pile. Every single time you flip that switch, there's a small sense of pride attached to it. You know exactly what is inside it. You know how it works. You know the story of where it came from. The connection between you and your tools is something a lot of people have lost in a world where everything gets replaced instead of repaired. And getting a small piece of that connection back feels genuinely good. This project also says something important about self-reliance, something that matters more today than it has in a long time. Being able to look at a broken object and see a solution instead of a dead end is a skill. It is not something you are born with. It is something you build, one project at a time. And every time you successfully bring something back to life, whether it is a compressor, an old tool, or anything else, you are training yourself to be less dependent on simply buying a replacement every time something breaks. That skill compounds over time. It makes you more resourceful. It makes you more confident. And in a world full of constant new purchases and constant new expenses, that kind of confidence is genuinely valuable. Now, I want to be completely honest with you about something before we finish, because that is what this channel is built on. This project is not for absolutely everyone. If you are not comfortable working with basic electrical connections, or if you do not have access to someone who can help you safely handle any leftover refrigerant, this might not be your first weekend project, and that is completely fine. There is no shame in starting smaller, learning the basics first and working your way up to something like this. But if you are the kind of person who has ever looked at a broken appliance and felt a small spark of curiosity, wondering what is really going on inside it, this project is calling your name and you already know it. What I really want you to take away from this video is not just the specific steps of turning a fridge compressor into an air tool. I want you to take away the bigger idea sitting underneath it. The next time something breaks in your house, pause for just a moment before you throw it away. Ask yourself a simple question. What is still working inside this thing? What could this become instead of what is it failing to be anymore? That one small shift in thinking can turn your garage into a place full of opportunity instead of a place full of junk waiting for trash day. So here is where I want to hear from you directly, because this channel only works when it becomes a two-way conversation instead of me just talking into a camera. Down in the comments right now, I want you to tell me what old broken appliance you have sitting around your house. The one you have been meaning to throw out but never quite got around to it. Maybe it is an old fridge. Maybe it is a dead washing machine. Maybe it is some tool you gave up on years ago. Whatever it is, tell me, because I want to know what you're sitting on without even realizing it, and who knows, it might become the topic of a future video right here on this channel. And if this video opened your eyes even a little bit, if it made you think differently about that old junk sitting in your garage, do me a favor and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Send it to your dad, your brother, your neighbor, anyone who has an old broken appliance just sitting around collecting dust. Because someone out there is about to throw away something genuinely valuable, simply because nobody ever showed them what was really possible. You can be the person who changes that for them. Hit share, drop your comment below, and if you have not subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Because this channel is going to keep showing you exactly how much value is hiding in plain sight, all around you, just waiting for someone curious enough to notice. I will see you in the next one.